Hey guys, time for the drive review. Car just looks fabulous. So getting in, as I said, we have to use the grab handles. Just dust my feet. The car shakes a little when you turn on. Definitely as not much as the Fortuner, because the engine is much refined here, and the Fortuner engine is just so unrefined, I feel. The engine sound is heard inside, the gear shifting is felt, and this here is the 6-speed torque converter. This is the CRDI 2.2 liter diesel engine, which produces roughly around 172 PS and 330 Newton meters. So I forgot to mention that we also get ventilated seats. We get ventilated seats for both the driver and the co-passenger. The sitting position is very commanding. You feel like the butch driver or whatever. The entire bonnet is visible. The rear view mirrors are damn huge. It's almost a span of 1.5 of my hand. Once you get on, the first thing you notice is the steering wheel. For example, I'll just stop you for a second. The steering wheel you can turn with your pinky. It's that light. The gear shifts are definitely not felt, but you do notice the gear changing. Power wise, I am going hard and the car picks up pace in seconds like this. Already you have reached 80. And okay, some hard braking. Body roll is very evident, not gonna lie. And this gets a VAT suspension or a pentalink suspension, they call it. And it started to rain. So this suspension is called a pentalink suspension, which has 5 link rods basically, including the spring, which is very nice because not even a single bump is felt inside. Whatever is felt is the body roll. Automatic wipers. Car guys, typical car guy things. You wash the car, fucking it has to rain, of course. But let's continue through the video. The pentalink or the VAT suspension, which Mahindra calls it, is absolutely boom because not even single bump is felt and the vehicle is very stable. It gets electronic stability control with 7 different modes. That's what Mahindra calls it. Since it's electronic, it's all controlled with electronic. Again, this is the automatic wiper working, which I've set to auto, and with the intensity and the speed, the wiper motion increases. Moving on, 172 bhp is less for a car weighing more than 2 tons, but I feel it is very powered, guys. Once you switch to zoom mode, the vehicle power increases rapidly and the revs become very aggressive. Not even a sweat, guys. The car just pulls. With a blink of an eye, the car reaches 80 kilometers per hour, and the top speed, which I have not tested, people claim 160, 180, but I don't recommend such high speeds for a vehicle of this high, because again, since it's a tall vehicle, the braking distance will reduce, chances of topple is high. So why did I purchase the Scorpio? Well, my first glance was to buy a Mahindra Thar because of all the hype the vehicle has and what it has to offer. But I never found the Thar to be much practical. So the day I went to test drive the Thar, I also had the mind of test driving the Scorpio. So I just gave it a random go. Let's see how the Scorpio is. And I was in shock. It's basically the DNA of a Thar with much more practicality. But yeah, I know I shouldn't be comparing it with the Thar because they are two different leagues. But the driving view, the driving position of a Thar in a much practical aspect was something that I just instantly clicked, and I wanted this vehicle as soon as possible. The eye commanding view which is offered in the Thar, and of course the engine is just much powerful than the Thar and much more practical, guys. The leg space provided here is just so nice. The Thar doesn't even have leg space. You can't do this with your legs, I know. And the ruggedness of the Thar is not there because it's melted down and it's much more practical. I hope my audio is clear in the mic because it's raining heavily. Moving on. The torque converter. This is something to talk about because as you can see, if I'm in zoom mode, I just feel the revs are taken much longer and the gear shift doesn't happen. So I shifted to zap, suddenly the car changes to the next gear. Zoom mode is just for the highway drives, guys. I'm such a waste of washing the car today. We spent 2 hours to wash the car just for it to rain. I hate it. The weight of the steering builds up once you start driving. In the initial, you feel the steering is very flimsy, but once you develop speed, the steering becomes harder and inspires much confidence, which is required for the highway. And Mahindra has tuned the steering, the suspension, the electronics, the gearbox in such a good manner. I feel there is no car that comes closer to this car, even that stupid car going right there, because it costs you 50 lakhs and you get nothing, not even the half the practicality aspects, half the comfort of this car. I know the Scorpio or the Fortuner owners will be cursing me in the comment section, but it is what it is. This is another different league, the Thar rocks, because that's basically the DNA of the Thar with a much more longer form factor. As you can see, overtaking is not an hassle. Just a light foot on the pedal, it just keeps you moving. I've already done the review of the Thar rocks. Even the normal Thar I've done. So I think it's a fair comparison for me as a owner to give the review of the Scorpio because I've driven both the cars. Fortuner is also I've driven, but I've never done a video of it because I had gone for the test drive. So I test drove the Scorpio and first, then the Fortuner. So yeah, that's about it. Noise insulation and the comfort is just next level. You don't feel anything. The noise is just cut down. Cabin noise is zero. Of course you can feel the engine because it's the diesel engine. The petrol engine is much better in that terms because it's much more quieter and it's a powerful engine. For people who are wanting to buy a powerful Scorpion, I would recommend them to go to the petrol variant because it has much more power, around 200 bhp and 300 Newton meters of torque. People who are looking to off-road, go for the diesel because diesel is much more torquey compared to the petrol. Yeah, power is less. Again, fuel economy is something that you have to be watching out because the petrol just returns around 5 kilometers per the liter in the city and 8 for the max in the highway. Compared to this returns you around 8.5 to 9 in the city and around 12 in the highway if sedately driven again. You definitely feel the Gunda look from this car. And I mean it. One more annoying feature which I have to turn off. You also get these USB charging, which is quick. This is for the infotainment system and this for the charging. The cabin feels very airy. Because of the tint, it looks a bit dark, but the cabin is very airy, guys. You don't feel claustrophobic as such. Body roll is evident, as you can see. One thing that I didn't like is this sound. Once you press the brake lever or the brake pedal, there is sound in the transmission box. I don't know what's the defect, or I spoke to the showroom person during the service. He told it's regular and it's normal in all the cars of Mahindra. You get nice trumpet horns, which are as bassy. I feel they could have done better horns in this. Doesn't give the feel of the big car. So I'm just waiting for open stretch to show you guys how quickly the car picks up pace. You can turn off the front parking sensors with the button provided here, and I like to keep it on in the cities. Just helpful to maneuver such a big car, and I feel an absolute breeze with the front camera as well. Potholes shouldn't be an issue. You can just fly. The car can easily gain speeds up to 100, 120. Post that, I feel it's a struggle. It's not as easy as you get to 100. Not that the car is not capable, but it's just not that easy. Other than that, I don't have any complaints in this car because it's one of the dream cars. Of course, I can find here and there few niggles, such as the cost cutting that Mahindra does. Previously, they provided hydraulic struts for the XUV 500. Now they have cut on that. They don't have a panoramic roof. I mean, who needs a sunroof? But for the people out there, I think the new 2026 Fortuner or the facelifted version might get the panoramic sunroof. For a car of around 30 lakhs for this variant in Bangalore, I feel it's the most value for money car that you can get as of now. But not a lot of people will buy this car because of the traffic, the city driving, the huge, and it's not compact. So most people will go to the Creta or the Seltos. Person who is willing to drive such a huge car is either manly or he has balls of steel. That's what I feel. Not your regular daily driver, definitely, but fun weekend car. So that's it for this video, guys. If you have anything, please drop down in the comments. I will reply to it. And I know I was a bit irregular in the videos in the past few days. That's because of my internship, and I'm finally a revving doc with the name. I'm finally a doctor because I graduated just day before with my MBBS degree, and I think the videos will be regular for the next 6 to 7 months until I join somewhere else. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Do drop a like and subscribe for more such content. Bye.